Well, hello, everyone, and thank you so much for coming today to our webinar on how you can earn passive income and help to rebuild Ukraine. This is such a great opportunity brought by Andesite Blue that you can invest, earn a long-term passive income, and help with the actual reconstruction and rebuilding of Ukraine. Now, before I go through the slide presentation with my business partner, Mike Wilson, I first want to just read a disclaimer. We need to have a disclaimer in there, and then we'll get to the fun part of the presentation. And that disclaimer is that as accredited investors, you will be aware that all investments carry some level of risk. This investment is only available to investors who are able to assess their own appetite for risk. So please read the risk statement with the investment memorandum before investing. All right, well, fantastic. Now that we've got that disclosure done, we can start. And here is what we are about. When Mike and I formed this company, along with Steve and some other team members, we saw an opportunity with Ukraine to basically invest into such a great emerging market. And now with everything that has happened as a result of the war, the opportunity for reconstruction, for rebuilding is ripe. And we are able to offer some fantastic rates that far exceed what you can find on a UK gilt. You know, UK gilts right now are paying 3.6, 3.7%, but this is one where you can get not only 7.15 to as high as 8.85, but you also can have the satisfaction of knowing that your money is going to fund the reconstruction and the rebuilding of Ukraine. I want to also clarify that you are not actually purchasing a Ukrainian government bond. You're purchasing the corporate income bond of a United Kingdom company, and then it's a high yield corporate income emerging market reconstruction bond. And with that, we invest into projects to help rebuild Ukraine. Mike, do you have anything you'd like to add on to that?
No, that's fine. You can continue.
Okay, very good, very good. So let's talk about the team. We have a top-notch team for you, and our team has a total of 250 years of business experience. We have experience operating in more than 20 countries, including numerous emerging and developing markets. I'm not going to go through all of the details of each team member, but I'm going to briefly highlight a few things about each team member. If you look on our website, if you go to andesiteblue.co.uk and you look at the team there, you can find much more information. So to start out with, we have Nigel Brigden. He's the chairman of the board of directors. He's in London. He's a UK citizen, and he has 40 years experience with banking in the city of London. He also has experience with domestic and international securities markets, and he adds so much to the team. We have Christina Katrakis. She is a highly qualified and experienced political coordinator. Her career has been involved in a lot of projects, a number of multi-million-dollar projects worldwide, and we're happy to have her as a team member. Tetiana Kiltika, she's a UK citizen, and she's also a Ukrainian citizen. She is our corporate secretary, but she's also a businesswoman, and she has formed a company in the UK that is involved with Ukrainian events and promoting artists abroad. Steve Dyball, he is our senior operations management. He brings a lifetime of experience working in emerging markets. He has 4 decades of experience. Just fantastic to have him with us. Mike Wilson, my co-founder, he's an American. I'll let Mike tell a little bit about himself. He's here. So Mike, you want to talk a little bit about your background?
Sure, I don't mind hearing it from someone else at the time, but that's okay. I'll go ahead and cover that. Yeah, I've been in the business industry since I got out of the military. I was served in the United States Marines, and I got out, been in the marketing field and worked for some pretty large companies such as AT&T, Panasonic, and Toshiba. Those companies have really formulated my training and my thinking and the way of doing business. I really appreciated AT&T's approach and their business ethics. From that, it really springboarded me into running my own businesses shortly after that. And so for 35 years, I've started companies and ran them. And then, so now here I am with Ben, as Ben said, as we're co-founders of Andesite Blue. And so I bring in I work in the industry of reconstruction or construction, excuse me. I'm a contractor and builder. And so I have the skills and the necessities in evaluating and looking at projects and constructions and different developments and things to invest in.
Fantastic, Mike. Thank you so much. And I'll just briefly mention about myself. I'm an experienced businessman. I've been doing a lot of business in the United States in the real estate industry, residential and commercial. Also have been involved in several startup companies and in private business acquisitions. So I bring that experience to the team. We have on our team here, we also have Vasil Milnik. He is a Ukrainian citizen, and he also is a former, in the government of Ukraine, he was a director in the Ministry of Finance. So he brings a lot of experience to the team. He was with the Vitaly Klitschko bloc, and he's been involved he has extensive knowledge of political and business processes throughout Ukraine, and he's such an asset to the team. We have Anatoly Landman. He's another team member, a Ukrainian citizen. He is a businessman in Ukraine. He's from Kharkov, but he also has been involved in a lot of projects in Kiev. The metro system in Kiev, Ukraine, if any of you have traveled to the metro, the internet, when it was first installed in there, he was involved with bringing that project in. We have Dr. Mark Hong. He's a U.S. dentist, but he's also practiced in the United Kingdom. And he is our chief medical officer. We have a chief medical officer because Andesite Blue is going to be very involved with dental and medical. We're going to be involved in the reconstruction. We're going to be involved in a lot of these areas, not only residential housing, not only these things, but we want to be involved with medical and dental, and he brings that experience as a chief medical officer. We also have Andrew Richings. Andrew Richings is a UK citizen. He's the founder of Thomas Kelly Holdings. Thomas Kelly Holdings is a boutique private consultancy firm, and they focus on private equity, fixed income bonds for ultra high net worth and sophisticated investors. He's a consultant with our team and really brings a lot to the table. So in terms of the reconstruction, there are so many opportunities that have been created as a result of this terribly cruel war. The government of Ukraine has set up what's called a twinning reconstruction initiative, where the United Kingdom is paired with Kiev. And for example, Sweden is paired with Mykolaiv, so that these countries can assist these cities, these regions in Ukraine with reconstruction. And in terms of the reasons to invest in Ukraine, we have all seen the pictures. We all know about the terrible events that have happened as a result of this cruel war and Russia's attack on February 24th. We are in a position where Andesite Blue, we have the context, we have the ability to do so much to help with the reconstruction. And this is something that is so important on a human level. This is something that when you make an investment, of course, you're always thinking about money and returns, but this is an investment where your money can really do good, not only earn passive income, but something that really helps people that makes things better, because there's Ukraine, the people there, they need the help now. And this is something where we're not trying to do it as a charity. We're going to get your money back. We're going to pay passive income to you. But this is something that we can do more with this bond. And there is such a role for private business to play in this. It can't all be government. So that's just so important. And here is an example. This is we have seen Bucha. That's where some of the war crimes occurred in Bucha, and you look at how it looked right after the devastation and the destruction, but the rebuilding of a lot of these flats and homes that has already, there's been a lot of progress made, but there's so much more progress that's necessary. And not only Bucha, there's Kharkiv, there's Odessa, there's Kiev, all over. There's so many things that need help. And rather than just charity, everybody at Andesite Blue, virtually every team member at Andesite Blue, we have all made donations, charitable donations to help with the reconstruction. But the thing about this is, with a bond, we've got a product where we can borrow the money, do something good, do the reconstruction, help with the reconstruction, help with rebuilding medical clinics, with a lot of other worthy projects. And that allows us to, on a larger scale, rather than just personal donations or charity. We have a financial product that has been well designed, carefully designed, so that we can do the maximum good. That's what we want to do. We want to do the maximum good, but we have aligned the profit incentive here, where you can not only have the feeling of knowing that your money is going to do something good, but also have a good rate of return, a good competitive rate of return. So that is so important there. Another image, so much destruction. And for years, the opportunity is going to be here to rebuild. But the thing about it is, this is something where long-term you can get a significant passive income as we rebuild, as we help with reconstruction. And the need is really prevalent out there in terms of everything that has happened. Mike, do you want to add anything to that?
Well, the thing, the obvious thing is that the rebuild of Ukraine, but it's how we do it. It's how we approach it, and what we're working on to make us accomplish that. Ukraine is also in they're on the ticket for being an EU country, part of the EU, and they've actually fast-tracked faster than any other country to have the application accepted. So they're already in the accession stage of the EU, excuse me, I'm mixing it up with the UK, with the EU. So part of the requirements of entering into the EU is the modernization. So the infrastructure and everything has to be at a level and a standard of an EU lifestyle and EU living. Well, this is what we focus on, and this is how we work. So even on the reconstruction of the homes and working with the energy sectors and rebuilding all of the infrastructure that we'll be investing in, this marks it for the to be able to be easily qualified and approved for the EU acceptance.
Absolutely. That is so relevant, because this is something where, with Ukraine going in the direction of the EU, and being able to join the EU, with the fact that so much damage and destruction has been done, and yet we have the perfect financial product that can, on a large scale, make a huge difference. We're not talking about rebuilding one flat. We're talking about doing a large amount of good here for Ukraine. And we're excited to bring that opportunity to you. I want to introduce Steve Dieball, just a short clip where you can know a little bit more about his background, because he's going to be very involved in the reconstruction, and he has significant experience with a lot of things in emerging markets, in particular manufacturing plants. So I've just got a short clip here that I'm going to show, and then we'll go on. But this is a blessing that we have him with our team, because with his experience he's able to bring a lifetime of experience where we can get a lot more done. It's just so important.
History in the manufacturing industry, engineering, chemistry, either running chemical manufacturing plants or building them. So in the early days of my life was very much in pure manufacturing, but building plants constantly. And so as life went on, I seemed to have a switch from being just involved in the manufacturing to actually being involved with the design and the building.
Yeah, and that's fantastic because we're going to be dealing
I've
with
sort of a long history in the
we're going to be dealing with a lot here in terms of the reconstruction and the different
I've sort of a
plants.
long history in the manufacturing.
So now here's a project that we're very excited about. This is actually, I'm going to show a clip of an interview here with Mike Wilson with Andesite Blue and a company called Ukraine Nua. This is a company that's going to be focused on reconstruction. And we have Svetlana speaking here with Mike, and I'm just going to
sustainable and, you know, so yeah.
Modular communities.
Yeah.
Yes, it will be very strong, very modernization with latest technologies.
The other thing, and you touched on it just a little bit now, which is exciting, is that it is Ukrainians' jobs. It's actually not just the fabrication of the homes, on the prefabrication of the homes and the modulars, because that will be done in a factory. And that, so we'll have Ukrainian factory workers, we'll have employment through that, but you're also creating jobs on those inside those communities, and we're creating businesses inside those communities, so that it's all Ukrainian. So we're actually producing the economy that this is sustainable.
Yes, and now we are modular manufacturing homes company speaking with us now. They would like to set up their manufacturing
Inside Ukraine.
facility in Ukraine, in Rivne.
Okay.
It will be very big industry. It will be easier to get
Materials
for building these modular communities, and also there will be also jobs for our Ukrainian people.
Yes. So let me take a little moment here, and I want to explain to the audience real quick what we're talking about and how this works. It's building of homes. Okay, that sounds like that's just construction workers and men working their hands. Well, in the pre-manufactured homes and the modular homes, you do have a plant, a factory that has all of the material and everything ready to start putting these homes together. Now, it's not cookie cutters. These are they're better quality. They have better efficiencies. They have better insulations. They retain heat better in the winter, and they retain the coolness in the summer. So they're very strong and durable homes. And what's really great about it is that because it's in a factory, you can easily monitor the quality control, which is very important, because now you have quality control management that actually looks at each of the processes. So one person, he will be in charge of one little area of his job, of a certain part of the construction, and then each person has their own field. Well, they get better and better at it and more efficient. All the tools, all the nails, the screws, the wood, the plastics and material, everything necessary, the insulation is all there, and it goes down like building a car. It goes down a assembly line and builds it together, and then these homes are put together so that they will then be shipped by truck on location. And then so now the other part of the work will be the preparation of the foundations, whether it's a single family dwelling home, or whether it's a multi-family, and such as a high-rise apartments. So this can be done in either way. The other really nice thing about these homes is the design. They're not just boxes. Okay, they have a very good aesthetic look, exterior and interior. The interior is amazing. The neat thing about it is that you can actually pick and choose what you want on the interior. So and this is how we did it in America, that we would go and say, oh, we like this home, we like this design, we like the footprint and everything that, and the structure of the plan, but we get to pick the faucets, we get to pick the appliance.
And that is so useful, that method, where we'll be able to, on a larger scale, do this. And then what's nice about it is people will have a choice on the home, what kind of appliances do they want? What sort of things do they want? Where it's not just a cookie cutter, it's not just a box, it's a nice quality place. So that's something that's really exciting. Before the war, people knew about Ukraine, but there already were so many international companies that were operating in Ukraine. I mean, you look at some of these, I'm sure that many of the logos you already recognize. These are large companies that did a lot of due diligence. They decided that Ukraine was a great place to invest massive plants and operations. So the Ukraine is only going to grow back stronger. It's going to be even stronger than before any of this ever happened. And it's something where you can benefit. You can get passive income, and you can know that you're helping. And there's so many reasons to invest. Ukraine has really emerged as a global R&D hub, and it's going to come back even stronger than after all of this, because so much money is coming in to rebuild, is going to come in to rebuild. That this is an opportunity. Now let's talk a bit about the actual bond, because we kind of have explained here the value. We've kind of explained what we're doing. Now we want to get down to, for you as an investor, what is the benefit to you? Well, that is a great question. It's one that we have spent a lot of time thinking about this financial product, and we're proud to present it. The first thing is you can reach your passive income goals more quickly. And what I mean by that is, if you have a passive income goal to obtain, for example, 5,000 pounds a month, 10,000 pounds a month. If you have a passive income goal to get 100,000 pounds a month or more, we can help you reach that in as short as 30 to 60 days, depending on the amount of capital you have to place initially. Now, you might be in a position where maybe you're a professional, maybe you're a doctor, a dentist, and you have more years before you retire. This is something where we can help you get to that passive income goal more quickly. Nothing is more common in this world than the doctor or the dentist that thinks that the sale of their practice is going to be their retirement. And that is not a good strategy, betting on selling your practice. It's much better to get with a program like what we offer at Andesite Blue, where you can invest, you can start building passive income, you participate in an annual investment program. Maybe every year you place, for example, 100,000 pounds. Maybe you place that for a few years and you build up to that passive income level that you're looking to reach. Another beautiful thing about our financial product is we offer maximum diversification. Now, what I mean by that is, we all know in investing you should have some diversification, but with this, you're getting diversification not only in different assets, because you're investing into real estate, you're investing into healthcare, you're investing into green energy when you invest with Andesite Blue, because we invest into a lot of different projects. So you get maximum diversification. Another thing that is unique about Andesite Blue is that we don't charge any fees. Now, I know that some of you, many of you have probably heard the hedge fund guys and the private equity guys pitch you, where they start talking about, well, we charge a 2 and 20. We've got a carried interest provision. These guys are the masters of the fees. They love generating fees. We don't do that here at Andesite Blue. And I'm not giving those guys a hard time. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with them charging fees. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do business with them. What I'm trying to say is, if you like the idea of investing in a financial product that your money is not going to pay fees, the Andesite Blue Bond is that product. We don't charge our investors any fees, and that's really unique. We've got a simple business where we we are able to find the right projects, and then we can pay you passive income, and we do all the work in between. We also offer interest payment flexibility, whether you want to get paid quarterly, annually, or on maturity if you're looking for the maximum. That's what we recommend for a lot of investors. If they want the maximum return, is to go with the payment on maturity. That's a possibility as well. Now, I want to make it crystal clear as a bell. How does this compare with UK 30-year gilt? Because a lot of our investors are from the United Kingdom, and frankly, they kind of have fallen into these UK gilts where they love the passive income. And I'm going to show just a short clip here where you can see a real comparison. At the United Kingdom's 30-year gilt yield, and then compare that with Andesite Blue. And I'll give you a hint. Andesite Blue has much higher yields. So let's go ahead and look at the long-term history here. We can see that the highest that yields were in the United Kingdom was around 16% back in 1981. And then the general trend is it has gone down. The yield has decreased in value over time on the UK gilt. So if we go all the way to it looks like about May of 2020, it was even a little lower there. We can see that, you know, you had some very low, here's a yield that was as low as 0.52 back in April of 2020. And then it's gone up. But to put that into comparison, we are offering a yield that's around 7.15 to 8.85. So let's just call it 8 approximately. To get an 8 yield, to get an 8% yield, you would have to go back in time to if you compare it with a gilt, you're looking at the last, it was around an 8% yield was around, let's see, when was it here? It was a while ago. To get an 8% yield, you had to go all the way back a long time to get that. It would have been somewhere around the 90s. So it's something to keep in mind that with Andesite Blue, we are able to offer a return that's around 8%. And the UK gilt has not done that in many years. So just please keep that in mind when you're trying to decide between bonds that are gilts and Andesite Blue. Yeah, that's so important. And I know you're experienced investors, but I just encourage you to think about that. So how does the bond actually work? Well, we offer this bond to high net worth individuals and institutions, and then the net proceeds are invested into Ukraine in projects that have undergone our rigorous due diligence process. We have a very extensive process before we invest into a project. And we have multi-level due diligence that is done. And then our local Ukrainian management company collects the rent and oversees management of the loan portfolio. So it's designed to be as simple as possible for you as a UK investor, as an institutional investor, where you can just get the passive income that you want. And we're investing in healthcare, surgical clinics, real estate, agriculture, and green energy. That is so important, the green energy. Now, here's an illustration of returns just to make it as clear as possible. If you invest, for example, 100,000 pounds with Andesite Blue, and let's say that you want to be paid quarterly, and you select a 36-month period, in that case, you're going to receive a total of 121,450 pounds, and that would consist of 21,450 pounds in interest and your 100,000 of principal back. And then we also offer, if you want a higher return, you can also select the 60-month option. This is one that if you're looking for the highest possible return, if you go with a 60-month option on 100,000 pounds, at the end of the term, at maturity, upon maturity, you would receive 155,659 pounds. So that's a pretty substantial difference. And if somebody's looking for the maximum, we really recommend the on maturity payment. But we'll work with you, whatever you want to do. We're easy to work with, and we love our investors, and we want to make you happy. So that's how it is structured there. And then just a few quick questions, then I'll open it up to any general questions, but I'm going to answer some of the most common ones. Why should I invest in the bond? Well, great question. This is a product that is well suited to you as an investor if you want an above average rate of return. If you want just an average rate of return and zero risk, you can, for example, purchase a UK gilt. Now, the issue with that is not going to ever be any better than average. It just depends. But if you would prefer to have an above average rate of return, Andesite Blue provides those returns. And then if you want an investment that is asset backed, if you prefer an asset backed investment, we use the gold standard. We use the gold standard. And what I mean by that is when we make an investment, we are loaning only a part of the value of the asset. We are very careful in the way that we do that, just like a lender that is in the real estate world, and we do use those exact same principles. So this is something that is asset backed. How long term is it? It's 36 to 60 months. But here's the great thing, folks. If a lot of our investors are kind of in the situation where they really don't want the money back right away, they just want to know that it's being handled the right way and that projects are on track. And if you're in that situation where you really don't need that back, we can keep it running for you on an automatic annual renewal. It's a convenience factor. We notify you that your bond is coming due. And if you want to renew it, we will automatically renew it for you, just so you don't have to get the money back and then find another place to invest it. Or if you want it back, we'll have it ready for you. We plan everything out very carefully for our investors. Another question that sometimes comes up is if you can put the bond in your self-invested personal pension. Well, that is a great question. And the answer is that actually is up to your SIP provider. You need to speak with your SIP provider. But folks, I would say this: if you talk to your SIP provider and they're not helpful and they don't understand the Andesite Blue project, they don't understand the Andesite Blue Bonds, talk to us, because we know a lot of SIP providers, and we can help you with another SIP provider that has a more of an understanding of how this all works. If your SIP provider for some reason doesn't want to do it or doesn't understand how to do it. What type of an investment is it? Well, this is UK corporate income bond. It's not a government bond. Who can invest? Well, there's some requirements. You've got to be over 18 years old. And the good news is, judging from everyone here, I think everyone's over 18. So everybody qualifies on that basis. You also could be a trust. You also could be a charity. We will take money from charities. We work with everyone. We do require high net worth certification, but we make that so simple for you folks. We don't give you anything other than the minimum, because we know how the paperwork is. We want to make it easy for you to buy the financial product. So the paperwork is streamlined, where it's very easy. It meets the requirements that we have to meet, but that KYC, we have designed it to be as simple and straightforward as possible. It's very easy. You're going to love it. We put it together where you can just fill in your information. It's quick, it's rapid, and we fill in most of it for you that we know, and then you can just select. So how's the tax managed? We pay all the money to you. We just believe in paying all the money to you. We don't try to deduct taxes from your payments. That is something that our investors, they know their tax situation much better. They also have their tax experts that can help them with that. So everybody has a different marginal tax rate. We don't get involved with that. We just pay 100% of the money to you. Are there any limits are there any limits on how much can be invested? Well, that is a great question. This product is designed, our suggested minimum is 100,000 pounds. Now, folks, if you're new and you haven't invested with us before, that doesn't mean that if you want to start out with something that's a little bit less than that, that we can't work with you. We want to have you as included. But we do suggest 100,000 pounds as kind of a minimum. And on the upper end, there is no upper limit. In Ukraine, before the war, there were 75 billion in projects that needed funding. And now, as a result of this war, there are hundreds of billions. Some estimates range up to $1 trillion, maybe even more than that, in reconstruction and other things that are going to need to happen. So there's no limit to how much you can invest. We have the contacts. If you're an institution and you want to place a large amount of capital, we welcome that, and we will work with you very closely to find a solution for your institution or for your fund. So those are some of the basics there. Can I get access to my money early? Well, good question. The answer to that is no. And the reason is you've got to be absolutely certain that you're not going to require your money early until the end of the term. This is not like day trading. You folks know that already, but this is not like you can just log on to your brokerage account and, oh, I'm going to sell at a loss. I saw it go down. That day trading is a disaster anyway. Frankly, people do better if they stay longer term in their investments instead of jumping around. They've done so many studies. So this is one where you can place the money one time, or you can get on an annual investment program with a plan to reach the type of passive income you want. And then we can make that happen for you. We pay you the interest to whatever bank account you nominate. And to invest, it's very simple. We give you some paperwork. You fill out the paperwork, and that's it. That's all you have to do. So this is how it works. And then I'm going to show real quickly just a few potential investment projects. This is with Ukraine NUA modular communities. Basically, we're going to be working on this. Mike, do you want to add anything on this?
On the modular or on the Q&A?
The modular.
Okay. Yeah, so on the modulars, as I stated in the video, the technology, the innovations on that are so superior to what we call stick build or building on site. And so that's what's really that this is not a temporal thing. These modulars are here to be, once they're installed, they're here to last 100 years. So they're permanent features or permanent fixtures. And so the look needs to look good. It needs to have a very nice appearance and appeal to it. And that's what they have been working on over the past 50 years on modulars, and they just keep getting better and better and looking better and better.
That's really exciting, Mike. That is, and that's something that's great because that housing is so needed in Ukraine now. So another project that we're looking at is dairy products. We look at a lot of different projects. This is one that we're considering. We also are looking at logistics center in the Kiev region. This is a project that's about a 34 million project. It's one that's we're looking at. Modern bricks. We are also looking at bricks. Bricks may not be that exciting, like high tech or Uber, but let me tell you, bricks, as you know, they're a critical part for construction, and a modern brick factory that is going to be real important in the reconstruction. Also ceramic blocks. So that's another thing that's a critical building component, and we're looking at making some investments there. This is something where your investment really matters, folks. And I'm so glad that you took the time to come and to listen to us. We're going to do one last thing where we're going to take some questions from the audience. Mike and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. But I want you to know that this is something where we can help you with getting to the passive income that you're looking for. And you can have the satisfaction of knowing that you're investing into the reconstruction of Ukraine and doing good work with your money. So that is it for the presentation. I'm going to stop the recording and then we'll open it up to any questions, and we welcome any questions from anyone that's here in the audience.